Morning. So today on the blog, we're talking about our wonderful adventures that we had in the studio. A really fun thing for us to do is to go off on road trips, and we try and attend as many of the festivals in South Africa as we can. Obviously, sometimes money is tight, so we can't always get to all the ones we want to go. And sometimes we seem to have a little more than we need, and we tend to go everywhere, which is what happened in 2016. And we started our year off with a road trip to George. We were five girls, and we all squished into my polo. Yeah, my polo. And we had a one bag rule, which nobody stuck to. We managed. We weren't allowed to drive over 100 because the car was so full. But we got to George in one piece, even though we were almost driven off the road, and my blood pressure went from stable to... And we had to pull over safely, and someone else had to drive for a bit because this crazy guy, we were going through the Outeniqua Pass, and it's so beautiful scenery, and you don't really want to race through it, but I was doing the speed limit, and this guy in a Gauteng registration number decided to overtake me on a blind corner and almost pushed me off the road. Yay, that was not fun. Not cool. So Timmery had to drive us the rest of the way out of the pass to George. And I got to sit in the back seat and just try and stabilize my blood pressure. And we were feeding me crackers and sweets and anything to just try and help bring my blood pressure back up, because it really just fell into my feet. I got such a fright. The weekend was so much fun. We did a bunch of workshops. I taught a gypsy workshop. We got to meet some lovely ladies from Mossel Bay, spend some time with our Patty and Lavona, which is our favorite Billy sisters, I must say. And then we played games, learned a little too much about each other, as usually happens when you're staying in a house together. And then we came home. The trip home was wonderfully uneventful. And we started planning and saving for our next trip. So Jessica and I had applied to go to the Purple Belly Bus, which is a retreat hosted by Beverly and Ava out in the Tilbach region, which is a stunning area in the Western Cape. And we were like, one of us will get in, we'll be fine. Both of us got in. Yay, we were so excited. And then we were like, oh poop, how are we going to pay for this? So we fundraised and fundraised and fundraised some more. And we managed to get there. Again, me and Jessica and Timmery piled into the Polo. And we were planning to pick up Lavona and George. So we left super early. And if you follow the blog for that on belly.life, Jessica also blogged about it. We took 8 hours to do a 4-hour trip, or a 3.5-hour trip, and we basically stopped at every single tourist attraction and took selfies or danced. It was a lot of fun. There is a string of videos somewhere. I must find them and actually post them on our YouTube channel. It was that much fun. And we picked up Lavona after lunch, and we drove through to Worcester, where we spent the night. And then our Susie, Jessica's navigation system on her phone, took us for a scenic tour around a parking lot, seriously, to get to the Spurver Supper. And we were like, why is it driving us around a parking lot? Can't it just take us to the door? But apparently the Susie didn't like us, because the next day we were like, we should really fill up with some gas before we go through to Tilbach, because it's like little town dorpies and farming communities. There might not be a filling station. Well, of course, it's the Western Cape, so of course there were filling stations. I wasn't too stressed. But we asked Susie to direct us to the nearest filling station on the way out of Worcester. Again, she took us on a wonderfully scenic journey, and we didn't get any petrol. Not fun. So I was nipping a little as we drove through, and luckily it was the first little town we stopped in had a gas station, so we were able to fill up. And we were the first to arrive. We were very pleased with ourselves because we'd made such good time. The weekend was intensive. We learned so much. Everything from the classics all the way through to floor work and sword work, and wow. We got really good feedback from the ladies. We made new friends, and then it was time to come home. Now, if you travel with me, I can be a little anal. Let me warn you now. I'm like very security conscious. Uh, so I gave the girls a bit of a hard time because we were overtired after an amazing weekend. And then the drive ended up being in the dark back to George because we slept over at Lavona's house that night and then made the rest of the trip the following day. So the trip back to George, very stressful. We were tired and hungry and exhausted, really. The word is exhausted. And then we got to George, literally fell asleep, and then the next morning came back home. So you would think we'd had enough of traveling, considering I'm such a Nazi when it comes to being safe on the roads. But no, not us. No, we decided we have to go to Cape Town. Our belly dance calendar is not complete unless we do a road trip to Cape Town. So we did up and off we trotted 2 weeks later to Cape Town. This time we took Jessica's car. My Polo said, I've had enough of driving now. Give me a break. And we took her automatic little Honda. She's got a Honda. And the four of us this time, me and Jessica obviously, Carla and Timmery, we drove through to Cape Town for the Theatrical Oriental Dance Festival, which happens again next year, and we're holding thumbs that Beverly will keep doing it every year because it was so much fun. We did workshops and more workshops with local teachers and international teachers, and there was a gala and there was shows, and we literally had one dance to change at one point. We won't be doing that many sets again next year. Yeah, I say that now, but yeah, probably. It's just so much fun. And then we enjoyed the closing night party until it closed, which was probably not the smartest plan because we planned to drive home the next day. And I'm totally a morning person, so I drove while everyone slept, and that stressed me out a little too. So the journey home, yeah, 2016 journey homes, not so good. We hope to do better next year. And we made it home in one piece. Highlights from the festival was Maya. Oh, I love Maya Gora. I'm probably saying the surname wrong. I need more coffee. And we learned from Sandra Dancer. There was fusion workshops. There was oriental workshops. There was something for everyone. I did Center's workshop based on a book. Check out the other blog. I'll post the link below. And really enjoyed that. I did Sandra's workshops and I learned so much about the music and the interpretation, and I did Maya's workshops and I learned so much about presentation, and Jessica and Colin Timmery did workshops with Michelle and Natalie and Nix and Marissa and all these amazing dancers from Cape Town. And there was Thelma Rose, who we love, she's our favorite. And yes, so we had so much fun. And we came home, and that was kind of a year of traveling. 3 big road trips. Maybe not next year. Maybe we'll fly a little next year. That might be more fun. Uh, not 8 hours on the road. No. Everybody's like, oh, Cape Town's just down the road. I'm like, yeah, it's an 8 hour drive. Not so fun. But read my real words and our real experiences, and I'll post the link to belly.life down below in the comments, and I'll post the link to the blog down in the comments, and we will see you on our next video blog. Bye.